In this chapter, we are going to discuss emotions and interpersonal communication. We're going to start by taking a look at what emotions are, some different perspectives on emotions, how culture and emotions intersect with one another, and how we can effectively express, manage, and respond to our own emotions and to the emotions of others. Let's start by talking about emotions and interpersonal communication. Emotions are clearly a personal experience. We often project what we're feeling on the inside to those around us, whether we want to show it or not. But in addition, emotions are also interpersonal in nature. Another person's show of emotion usually triggers some kind of reaction from us, and these emotions are central to any interpersonal relationship. Let's go ahead and define our terms. Emotions are physiological, behavioral, and/or communicative reactions to stimuli that are cognitively processed and experienced as being emotional. And these emotions can sometimes be felt voluntarily, or rather displayed voluntarily, when we are ignoring someone because we're angry with them, or they can be involuntarily displayed, such as when we are fidgeting or avoiding eye contact with someone because we are nervous. And we learn through socialization how to read and display emotions. Some people are undoubtedly going to be better at reading emotions than others. We experience emotions in two basic categories. The first types of emotions that we experience are primary emotions. Primary emotions are innate emotions that are experienced for short periods of time and appear rapidly. These are usually emotions that are a reaction to some kind of outside stimulus, and they are experienced similarly across cultures. These primary emotions include joy, distress or sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. And these primary emotions have recognizable facial expressions like the characters from the Pixar film Inside Out depicted here. Secondary emotions, however, are not as innate as primary emotions, and they don't have corresponding facial expressions. In addition, they're not as universally recognizable, and they require a higher order of thinking in order to process them. These secondary emotions include love, guilt, shame, embarrassment, pride, envy, and jealousy. These secondary emotions tend to develop over time rather than happening rapidly, and they take longer to fade away than primary emotions do. And these secondary emotions are interpersonal because they are most often experienced in relation to real or imagined others. So we experience love for another person. We experience guilt because we've disappointed another person. We experience pride in our child, for example, right? All of these are in relation to others. And these secondary emotions require much more cognitive processing and are much more easily influenced by thoughts. In other words, they can be more easily managed than the primary emotions can be. And we can become more competent communicators by becoming aware of how we experience and express our secondary emotions. So as we can tell, emotions are both personal and interpersonal, and we experience them with our whole body, express them behaviorally and communicatively, and we generally experience both primary and secondary emotions.